This video is about some of the player versus environment activities that can be done in Albion Online. Primarily to give people who don't play Albion Online an idea of what they're like. First off, we have gathering, probably the most basic PvE activity. Here I have a pickaxe, and that is allowing me to gather metal ore from the various nodes that are all over the Albion world. One of the defining features of Albion is that all gear in the game is crafted by players from resources gathered just like this. There are 5 different base resources. Each resource is only available in certain biomes. There's a large amount of detail I could go into, like how you level up your gathering skill, gathering gear, the different tiers and enchantment levels of resources, blah, blah, blah. Suffice it to say, there's a lot of depth here if you want to go into it, but at the end of the day, what you see is basically what gathering is. Riding around, looking for the nodes, gathering the resources. It's a decent, chill activity that makes good, consistent money. By speeding up the video and not cutting anything out of this whole gathering session here, I'm making an effort to try to show what a complete gathering session would look like. I will point out that I'm in a black zone here, which means any player not in my guild or alliance can come along, kill me, and take all the stuff on me. So there's a little bit of excitement there because of that. This pink glowy node here is a tier 3 enchanted, so that's pretty exciting. If you do this long enough, you might start hoping someone comes along and kills you. Like, please, someone come kill me. Anyway, we almost have all we can carry, so time to head back to the guild hideout and bank all this ore. Can't pass up killing this boss mob, though, on the way. So that's gathering in Albion Online. Next, we'll take a look at randomized dungeons. These dungeon entrances spawn throughout the world and come in 2 types. This one is the solo type and is good for 1 to maybe 3 players. There are also group versions that are meant for 4 to 8 or so players. The layouts are randomized in the sense that they are made up of sections that will be put together in different ways. These used to be one of the best ways to level up your character and make decent money. They're still okay, but new content has been added that is probably better. Again, I'm in a black zone, and other players could come in and try to kill me, but the entrance closes 90 seconds after I enter, so they would need to come in really fast. So these dungeons are probably one of the safest ways to level up your character. This one ended up being a single floor, but they can go to up to 3 floors, I believe. The group ones go to even more. There will be several bosses along the way. Each of them will have a chest with them with some loot in it. Here's one right here. Again, I'm going to show the entire run of this dungeon so you can get an idea of how long it is, but speed up the video because otherwise it would be a little bit slow. You might notice in this chest that there were some items in there, some weapons and things. And you might remember that I said in the gathering section that all items in the game are crafted by players. And so you might be like, well, what the heck? What are you talking about? If the mobs dropping loot, where are those coming from? And this is kind of a detail-y thing, but I think it's one of the cooler features of Albion. There's something called the black market that exists where players basically sell the items that they've crafted or bought or looted or whatever to the game, and then the game takes those items and drops them in chests like that and off monsters and stuff. So that to me is a really cool way that they've come up with to make it so that every item in the game is crafted by players, but there still can be cool and interesting drops off of the monsters in the game. And you can look at the stats page of every item and it will have the name of the person who crafted it. So that's solo dungeons in Albion. Pretty chill way to spend some time, earn some money, level up your character. It's good stuff. At any time in the dungeon, you can do what's called the A-ing out, because you press the A key to do it, and it teleports you out of the dungeon, and you can jump on your horse and be on your way. Lastly, we're going to take a look at one of the newest features that have been added to the game that I've been doing a lot lately and really enjoying, and that is called tracking. So you have to have a tracking kit, and you do what I just did there, which is kind of search for tracks, and it's going to pop up and show you any tracks that are in the local area. And you go over there, you find the track, you use your tracking kit on it, and then it's going to show you a general vicinity, if you can see that smaller circle on the mini map, where the thing you're tracking is going to be. And so you go over there, you look around, and you will either find the thing you're tracking, which is going to be some kind of boss monster, or you'll find another track that you interact with, and that'll send you to another location that, and these new locations can be in the next map over, so you might have to run around looking for quite a while to find the thing. But eventually you'll find the monster, as I have here, and then you fight it. Again, we're in the black zone here, so you're open to be attacked by other players, and that's probably one of the biggest problems, or maybe not a problem, depending on how you look at it, of this new activity. Is it is probably one of the more risky activities. You frequently will get rolled up on by other players, and they'll attack you, sometimes by many players. But I really like the fact that it gets you out in the open world doing stuff. Interesting things can happen when you end up interacting with other people. Eventually, the monster will run away frequently. They keep all the damage on them when this happens, and then the game's going to direct you to a new little circle on the map that you're going to have to go to and search around. And again, you may find more tracks that'll take you someplace else, but eventually you're going to find the monster again, and then you're going to continue the fight. And if you notice, when I start fighting this guy here, you see he's still damaged the same amount that he was before. He's basically almost dead. I almost had him dead, so he's going to die pretty quickly here, and then there's going to be some loot for me, and that's how tracking works. It's a pretty good new activity. I'm really enjoying it a lot. Just to finish this off and show you a little bit of the danger I was talking about, a little while later I was working on some tracking, and then this guy came up and started fighting him, but he's got some friends that are going to come here. The Mighty Frogs is the name of this guild, and so that tracking did not end so well for me.